Hello everyone, and welcome to the What's New session for Project Service Automation. This session is a great opportunity for you, field and partners, to have a better understanding of what we have to offer in the Spring 2008 release. I am Maria del Carmen Dins from the Product Marketing team. Joining me today is Rupa Mantravadi from the Dynamics 365 Project Service Automation Research and Development team. Today, I'd like to start with a short refresher on the value of Dynamics 365 for Project Service Automation to your prospective customers before we spend most of our time sharing and previewing the exciting new functionality of this release. I will wrap up by providing guidance on how to find out and learn more about Project Service Automation and related sales, marketing, and readiness materials. In the past year, the overall professional services sector's net profit climbed to 17%, and the professional service industry continues to grow. It grew 8% in 2017. Also, for the first time, professional services headcount growth exceeded revenue growth, meaning firms are feeling confident enough in the future to hire in advance of sales. This is really a big deal, as it means firms are preparing for growth in 2018. Despite primarily good news and positive improvements in net profit and continued growth, some issues demand consideration. Employee attrition continues to be a challenge, and there is a talent war in the industry. Even though attrition has started to decrease, it is still high enough to make it hard to maintain deeper customer relationships. And with the cost of replacing and training a billable resource at more than $150,000, empowering professionals with career development opportunities should be a key investment. There is also a downward trend in the bid-to-win ratio in the past 2 years, and lower ratios portray heightened competition. Fostering sales and project service team engagement is critical to establish pipeline priorities, collaborate on pursuits, and help refine proposals to accelerate sales cycles and win deals. Finally, the ratio of new to existing client revenue decreased 7% over the last 3 years. With the economy finally growing again, project service organizations are getting more repeat business from existing clients. In a global market with new entrants springing up daily to challenge the status quo, all project service organizations must improve their sales, marketing, and solution development capabilities. One of the proven success formulas for aligning sales and service delivery continues to be integrated CRM and project service automation applications, which coordinate the entire customer lifecycle and shine a light on customer issues and opportunities by making a 360-degree view of clients and projects possible. Achieving client delight and profit in professional services requires tight coordination between demand and supply, which can be achieved through integrated business applications. Project Service Automation is an end-to-end solution that provides project-based organizations a single system of customer engagement for sales, resourcing, delivery, and billing. As project-based organizations and service delivery businesses are people-first businesses, ensuring the rich, collaborative internal and external interactions that deliver value at each stage of the product lifecycle is the critical tenet for a customer engagement model. PSA enables this by bringing the people, process, and technology together to deliver value at each point of engagement along the project lifecycle and beyond. Let's take a closer look at how PSA can deepen your customer engagement, empower your sales and delivery teams, and optimize portfolio growth. Project teams can use it as a standalone app in close alignment with Office 365. But when combined with sales, product and project sellers can both engage on the same opportunity and collaborate proactively with project managers in the pre-sale cycle. When combined with field service, Project Service Automation can extend the customer interaction with a reactive break-fix experience by identifying value-add project-based scenarios for multi-day engagements. Or, when combined with operations, The time and expense reports that project members submit will automatically go to accounting, HR, and payroll systems, and project accounts will be automatically updated for finance in the Operations app. I would encourage you to identify and apply additional use cases for project service automation across industries and business functions. After all, there is a strong trend about making virtually all work project-based work. So let's see what's new for PSA. Most PSA products have a fixed dimension for pricing of project resources, like pricing by role or a specific resource. With the PSA Spring 2018 release, we are introducing the capability where customers can choose to price resources using any attribute of the resource. The project work breakdown structure grid has been refreshed in the Spring 2018 release. It is now fully accessible and has a modern UI. Creation of a team of generic resources can be done directly from the WBS. This is a vast improvement from the past and simplifies the project manager's experience, as it improves the range of scenarios where project service can be used to schedule work. Time and expense entry experiences now leverage the native unified client controls. This opens up the UI for customers to extend the experience with custom fields, time zones, and start and end of time entry periods. It also paves the way for scalable and modern experiences across form factors, desktops, tablets, and phone. Making copies of quotes and contracts will be enabled. This will make business flows much easier when customers' contracts need to get extended or a new quote must be presented with no change of scope, but take pricing for the next period. Finally, investments have been made to address the European privacy laws requirements, General Protection Regulation, GDPR, and meet Microsoft industry-leading accessibility standards. Now Rupa will focus on the enhancements and new features in project planning, resource management, and time and expense in the context of the overall end-to-end experience. Take it from here, Rupa. It's all yours.
I'm Rupa, also a PM on Project Services Automation. I'm super excited to present the enhancements to pricing engine in PSA in the spring release. As of the spring release of Project Service Automation, we're excited to bring the makings of Configure Price Quote engine for pricing human resources in project organizations that can be leveraged all the way from estimating and quoting to time entries and invoicing. To give a little bit of background, our research showed that pricing requirements in project companies usually vary across industry verticals. There is no unified pricing and costing strategy that can work for all industry verticals or companies in the project services space. Each company uses its own secret sauce for pricing employee time on billable work. Some companies may want to set up bill rates based on role and work experience, while some others may want to set up prices based on skills or expertise level. While these are some of the common scenarios for setting up bill rates, setup of cost rates could work in a wholly orthogonal manner. Standard costing of billable employees is usually done based on salary level, standard title, or the designation of the employee in the company, and some smaller companies may also prefer to have a standard cost rate for each employee, although that model can quickly become a maintenance nightmare as the company grows its billable workforce. Here's a simple scenario for pricing dimensions. My fictitious company, Contoso, prices its billable consultants based on their role on the project, org unit, and work location. Org unit, standard title, and work location determine a billable resources cost rates. In addition to these, Contoso also has to pay its employees a markup when they work overtime, and therefore they will also need an option to pass that on to its customers. Resource work hours with regular and overtime as options is needed by Contoso to complete this setup. Let's now go to Project Service to see how the solution allows for this kind of pricing strategy. The pricing dimensions list that you see shows the setup required for Contoso's pricing scenario. Customers familiar with PSA will notice that role and org unit are concepts that are native to Project Service Solution. However, work location is a concept that's relevant for my fictitious company. It has the values on-site, home, and nearshore. The same goes for standard title. This is not an out-of-the-box project service concept either, but it's still relevant for Contoso's business. Contoso leverages the XRM platform to define these concepts in project service as entities and option sets, and PSA's pricing engine is then able to understand and make use of these in the right context with powerful results. You can notice that Contoso is able to make org unit and work location influence both cost and bill rates. However, role only influences bill rate, and standard title only plays a part in the setup of cost rates. Notice the section that allows for setting up markups. It is common for project service firms to charge higher for overtime work and also correspondingly incur a higher cost for the same. My company, Contoso, has the same requirement, so resource work hours, which has the possible values of regular or overtime, is being set up here as a markup-based dimension. Let's now go to price list to see how Contoso is able to define bill rates, cost rates, and markups based on this dimension setup. Here's a cost price list for 2018 that shows cost rates by org unit, standard title, and work location. Notice that definition of cost rates is specific to a combination of these dimension values, and there are also default cost rates for Contoso India and Contoso US that are used for rate defaulting when an exact match is not found. The price list also specifies an overtime markup of 50% for US employees and 20% for Contoso India employees. And there's the sales price list for 2018 that shows bill rates by role, org unit, and work location. And similar to cost, there is also a role-specific default rate defined for the architect role. Markups are also defined for bill rates, and here I've used the same markups as I did for cost rates. Now, before we get to see resource-based pricing in action, let's take a look at a sample project Contoso is doing for customer Active Transport, which is the web development project. The project has a schedule, and let's look at the sales tab to navigate to the backing project contract. In project contracts in PSA allow for contract-specific pricing that allows for deviations from the standard price lists that you may have for the organization. Price list for this web development project has been created using the standard price list. But I will make changes to this price list that will then apply only to this contract. Here, I'm choosing to just override the markups for overtime. You may just as well choose to override role prices or any other aspect of this price list, and the changes you make will be scoped to just this SOW. One last thing to see before we log actual time entries is to check the setup of the resource that is logging the time. Spencer is set up as an employee of Contoso US, and he has a standard title of a systems engineer. Finally, time to see some PSA pricing action. Let's have Spencer do some work and log time on the website development project. Spencer logs 8 hours of regular work as an architect on this project. Let's go ahead and approve Spencer's hard work. Now that the time is approved, let's go to the project actual